Ready, go.
Had we not been poor, we would have never joined the church. And by the way, all my brothers and sisters joined the church,
And your mother?
except one, because she was underage, under 8 years old, and she never did join the church. And some of them left. Some of them left. I mean, just like any family, they do leave the church, but most of them are still members up to this day.
So the one who was underage is the one who also passed away?
No. The one underage is the one that now is living in Toronto. But
So how did you find the gospel?
my older brother is the one who was contacted by the missionary.
Just tracking?
Yeah. He was working in a store
in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, and the missionary just happened to go by and talked to him, and he accepted it. And go ahead.
My question is, you said it was because of your hard times that you accepted, but when you were in Hong Kong, did the hard times start there?
Yeah. After we left China, my father lost everything, remember?
Yeah.
You should come closer because your voice isn't loud.
That's okay.
No, when you're asking questions, it's hard to hear.
Well, I answered it, so I guess it's okay. And so he came home and asked permission to join the church, because he was only 18, and in China you listen to your father, and get permission. And my father said that is a good thing. His way of thinking was that these are American missionaries, learn English from them. Little did he know that we actually taught them Cantonese, because in those days they go for a 3-year mission. The first year is to learn the language, because there is no mission training center here in the U.S. So he got permission. He joined the church, and we said, "Can we go to?" My father said, "Sure, why not? Because every one of you would learn better English." So that's how I joined the church. But my brother went on a mission, local mission, as a local missionary, and he met this guy. His name is Sigurd Heisenberg, Dutch origin, but he worked after he came off from his mission, he went back to Salt Lake, and he worked for the church in the genealogical department.
Your brother or the other?
My brother's friend.
Your brother's friend?
Yeah, a missionary companion. And after he got home, he said, "My goal is to get your family out of Hong Kong." So when he was working for the genealogical department, then he said, "Sam, do you want to come over to help? I'll send you to England, then you can be a microfilm operator." And my brother was getting married then. He said, "Oh no, Terry can go." So I went instead. Yeah. So that's why I went to England. I stayed there for 4 years and 9 months, and traveled all over England. Other than Scotland, I have never been. I went to all the 3-4 areas like Wales, Ireland, and Midland, England, as well as South England. In fact, London, I stayed there for 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very interesting place.
So you were microfilming?
Yeah,
in all of
wherever there's record that
Yes.
they consented to let us do the microfilming,
And that was a job that they paid you?
yeah, they pay me.
Wow.
I call that my mission, but they pay me. It's a paid mission.
It's true, because I have friends that did serve a mission doing that very thing without pay.
Oh, yeah. But during that time, they pay you. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So that was a wonderful thing. So then I did one thing for my family and the other thing for myself. because I was able to save money, and I also send money home to help out.
Right.
You know, because everybody was helping out.
And you learned English even better.
I learned English, yes, because I stayed with British people.
Right.
I didn't stay with Chinese people. I mean, more or less like an immersion, because you have to immerse with them and talk to them for the first 2 months. Everything that comes into me, I had to translate it into English, and
What day did he say?
and then everything it came out of my mouth, it has to be translated from Chinese to English. And I mean, even though it was a split moment type of thing, but still it's very labor intensive.
Yes.
And I found out, and I always tell people, I said, if you want to learn to speak fluently, you have to think English, or think Spanish, or
The
think,
language you're trying to learn.
yes, the language you're trying to learn. So I was very fortunate in that sense.
I have another question for you. Spiritually, how did you join the church? What generated your testimony or your conviction?
I had a testimony, but I don't think it was strong, not until I left home. Because then I had to rely on Heavenly Father,
Right.
not on my own anymore, because you're the only one in England, you know?
So you basically joined because your family
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
And then as you went to England and you
yeah. Then I really gained a testimony then, yeah. I mean, in Hong Kong, I was as a young person, like 19, 20, I was doing like the branch presidency. Yeah,
you were,
because they needed people. It's very young.
right.
It's a very young church over there. So you be the young man president, and then pretty soon you become a counselor to the branch president, and so you learn a lot. In fact, the first chapel, I got the opportunity to break the ground because I was in the branch presidency.
How,
I have picture to prove it. Even yeah.
how,
First chapel in Hong Kong?
In the first chapel is in our area. Yeah. And when I went back, last few times I went there and looked at it. Nobody knows me anymore, but they only know there is a Tang family who was here and they left.
so how old were you when you were baptized?
Baptized, 13.
Age 13?
Yeah.
What year? Okay,
That's too
never
personal.
mind.
No.
How old were you when you left for England?
21. Yeah.
So what did you do in between high school and England? How old were you when you graduated from high school?
Just like anybody else.
I was 17. How old were you?
Oh, wow. Look at this. Wow.
How old were you?
The
18?
competitive nature is
No,
coming out.
it's because I was young and it was the lot that time.
Not telling you.
Okay, so what did you do after you graduated from high school?
I work for what they call a laundry store,
Doing?
like selling tablecloth, embroidered tablecloth, and women's stuff. So it was.
And when did you marry?
Oh, not until I came to the U.S.
States.
Yeah.
Okay, so
for
after
school.
you worked for the church for 4 years and 9 months, then where did you go?
Went to BYU.
And how did you end up there? Did somebody sponsor you?
Oh yeah, that was a great story. This person, Siga Heisenberg, and his wife, and he's been gone now, but she's still alive.
Berna.
But yeah, her name is Berna Heisenberg. And
She lives in
when
West
I
Valley.
was ready to come, told them that I wanted to come, they literally came over to the state and he went with me into the embassy and say, I will sponsor this person and this is what I would do and and so on and so forth. I got my visa in 1 day.
Wow.
And you were in the U.S. already?
No, visa in London.
Also, they
And
went
then-
with you to London.
Yeah, and then I talked to some of the British people, and he said, "How on earth did you get in one day? It takes us 6 months." And I said, "Well, that was a blessing, I guess. The Lord wanted me to come over."
That's right.
So I thought that was a blessing.
And then what happened when you were at BYU? How long were you there? And what
4
did you
years.
study? What did you study?
That's a secret.
Okay. What did you graduate with?
I because I was in microfilming, I thought that would be a good field to go into, photography. So I actually took photography and graphic design.
Wow.
Yeah, graphic design is a minor.
So
Yeah,
what kind of degree did you
so
get
I got
then?
my BFA,
Okay.
Bachelor of Fine Art. In
Very
case you want to
good.
know.
Okay, then what happened?
Could I ask a quick question, just because I want to know, what years were you there? Were you there in the 1980s?
No, 1974. I graduated 1974.
1974. Okay.
Yeah, but I went back
Oh.
in 1978
Okay.
and finished what I wanted to do in 1982.
82.
Yeah.
So I think we were there at the same time.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
In what
Wow.
department?
I was in English. I'm an English major.
Oh, I was in education.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we didn't meet. Even it's such a big campus.
Right. Well,
35,000 then.
the only reason I asked is Andrew said, I think you might have been at BYU at the same time my dad was.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew.
Andrew.
I know I keep doing that.
Yeah, I was there. I didn't finish my degree. I collected all my data and everything, and because that was a job offer.
Oh, there was a job offer.
There was a job offer, and I did everything I could, except to write my dissertation. So I decided we decided to go back, work, and do the dissertation during. Yeah, it took me 2 years, but I got it done.
What was it on?
Instructional science and technology. And that fits really well because I learned the media already because of work. 5 years I was working for the university and design instructional materials like media material for them
Where at?
at the University of Alberta. And so this field just fit me right in because technology, that is part of the technology and computer technology as well. So it was really fitting well. So because I know the technology part, and just have to learn the theory.
So that's how you ended up going to Canada, was because of that job offer.
Yes.
Okay.
But see, I was in Canada already working, and then decided that, okay, this job, I can only go so much. And there's a dead end. So I need to expand myself a little bit more, so I decided to go to BYU to get a master to begin with.
Right.
And after one semester, the professor came to me and said, if you're going through with the same program, why don't you just go for a doctorate? Because it would take you another year. Because you have to take a few more courses. So I decided that, why not? I'm here already,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And especially they give me some internship money and also some money that is because of my grade.
Scholarship.
Scholarship, yeah. So I decided that I would do it.
Wonderful.
And I'm glad I did it.
Exactly, because that allowed you to work in the universities.
Yeah. And I always wanted to be a professor. And so even though I went back to Canada to work and designing now instructional courses for people, and in conjunction with technology, and I did it for a few years, and then the department closed down because of economy.
Oh.
So I had to look for some other job. So the first one I went to Illinois, and to be a director of what I was doing. And then after that, 2 years, and I didn't like the job.
And where was this at? In Illinois?
Macomb, Illinois.
And was it at a university?
Yes,
What was the name of it?
Western Illinois University. And then after that, I looked for another job, and it ended up in Bangor, Maine. Yeah, and it's very interesting. Like any other job, you go there, you get the interview, and then you go home and you say, wait for our decision. I was offered the job on the spot. And then he said, well, we have 3 candidates or 2 candidates, I can't remember exactly, that is coming for the job, but we still have to go through the process. Even though you get a job, but we have to bring them here, interview, and then we say, okay, we don't want you or something. And then another interesting thing is that I was interviewed for the health department to design instructional material for them, or courses for them. And the university president, that makes me feel good. He said, I want him to start some program. And the dean of the nursing department said, or health department said, no, I am the one who interviewed them. When I'm done with them, you can have him. I thought that makes me feel good.
They were fighting over you, huh?
Yeah. So when I was done with health, he had me design a program. That's my dream.
Yeah.
You design a program for the elementary education,
Yes.
K-8, and I had so much fun with it. So right now, they can say Terry designed this program for us.
And they're still using it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I still have a friend being contacted. It's changed a little bit,
Right.
but still the basic structure is the one I designed.
And where was this and what year?
2000. Yeah, 2000.
At where?
Husson University
In?
in Bangor, Maine. Wow.
Gotta just make sure we have these things. And you
So
stayed
it
there
was
until?
so fun to design the program and hire people to be in the because I'm not a content expert in any area. I'm a process person. That means I do all the process to make sure that things are happening, and even get the program approval for 3 years
So
in the state of Maine.
when you say the program, so was it a program to train teachers
Yeah,
to teach?
in elementary education.
So all the courses they needed to take to get an elementary education
Right.
degree.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
So that was
The highlight.
the
Yeah.
highlight of my life.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I taught in the program. So, and my dream came true because I always wanted to be a prof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and what was the program? Didn't you say the program was kindergarten through,
K-8.
right?
Yeah.
So as we're talking, you can really see where Heavenly Father opened doors for you.
Oh yeah.
I can see it in your story.
I often think about this is when one door is closed, just like the sound of music. When one window is closed or one door is closed, another door will open for you.
Yeah.
And I always thought about that. There's no doubt in my mind. And my friend, Berna, the one who came to England with her husband to sponsor me,
Hazenberg.
and then she often said, "You are born under a lucky star," because I really didn't go through a lot of hardship to get jobs.
Right.
Didn't go through a lot of hardship to get jobs. So it's been a very blessed life.
Well, you
Professionally.
experienced your hardship as a youth,
Yeah,
and then
and then went through all the easy time, so to speak.
But
easy
that
time.
taught you skills, like you said. You learned
Yeah.
skills.
So it's been a wonderful life. professionally.
Yes.
Okay, that's the end of that interview because it's 20 minutes.